Dopamine Detox. Attention! For this video, I want you 100% focus, so that you will get the most out of this video. Do not distract yourself while watching it. Welcome to Mind Mentor. Today, we will talk about dopamine detox. And this topic is really a big one. Many of you heard about it. But before we start, I will tell you what a dopamine detox essentially is. First, what is a dopamine detox exactly? Well, to put that simple, dopamine is the hormone in our brain that gives us the feeling of motivation, happiness, and accomplishment. So if you are motivated, this is dopamine. If you feel happy about something, this is dopamine. If you accomplish your first 10-kilometer run and afterwards you feel great for reaching your goal, this is dopamine. And what is a detox? Detox in form of dopamine detox is like fasting. And in this form, you fast from dopamine. But if dopamine makes you feel so good, why will you fast on something like this? Well, the problem with dopamine is that there is a baseline of dopamine on which you are running constantly. Because dopamine is also responsible for every move you do. Without dopamine, you could not move at all. Because of that, we have always a certain baseline running in order for us to keep all our human functions. The problem is just that after we experience much dopamine from social media or films, we get more dopamine than normally. But after that, our baseline will drop because of it. That is why on things like birthday, you feel the days after a low in mood. Because you had so much dopamine for everybody congratulating you and you receiving many presents, thus also getting a dopamine high on that day on multiple occasions. This is in order for us, evolutionary, to keep pursuing things. Because if we would stay on that dopamine high status, we would not have hunted for food. Because our dopamine feeling would have felt so high. Good, but after all of this neuroscientific talk, and you now understanding the basics of dopamine and why we can't just experience much dopamine without feeling negative consequences to our mood, we get to the problem of our modern world. In the modern world, we have many things that bring us dopamine. Things like video games, porn, your phone, PC, drugs, and fast food. Bring us so much dopamine every day that we slowly but surely lose our dopamine baseline and thus also lose our feeling of happiness and motivation. So now we get to how do you avoid that and instead fast on the quick dopamine releases we have so easy access to, but to rather get into the good dopamine habits. And to put even that simple, you can watch every single video of mine in order to replace your bad old habits with good new ones. So, things like going to the gym, meditating, journaling, gratitude journaling, stoic journaling, reading, going for walks, and even making connections with friends and family, as well as working and doing work, is a great replacement of old, quick dopamine habits into new, good dopamine habits. You can also replace old bad habits with things and videos you will see from me in the future. And with that, we also get with your mindset necessary for it. When doing dopamine detox, there are more or less two ways to it. You either do a 24-hour dopamine detox every week, or you do it every day in small steps. In my opinion, the best is to do every day small steps to achieve dopamine detox and start making small steps every day. But I explain both. With the first option, the 24-hour dopamine detox once a week, You choose one day on which you do only good habits. So no phone, no PC, except for work. Only healthy food. And all self-improvement habits you know you can do. And in that day, you get all the work done for the week in order to completely fast from dopamine and get everything done of work you need to do. This is, in my opinion, a negative one. That 24 hours seems like much, but if you take away sleeping, there are already only 16 hours. And if you take away eating, going to the bath, and doing some other self-improvement habits, you may have on a free day 10 hours to do work, which is much, but 10 hours of work on one day could be too much at once, and not even to get everything done in a day. That is why I recommend and use myself the second option, the dopamine detox, every day and doing small steps. With that I mean that you have to replace bad habits with good ones every day, in order to at some point be free from all bad habits and quick dopamine releases and only have good habits with a healthy form of dopamine. So let's say you waste your whole day of time, but then you go to the gym and start training. And going and getting back of the gym, you already invest 2 hours of your day into a good habit with healthy dopamine release. And then you start to journal, gratitude journal and stoic journal every day. And you invest another half an hour a day into good habits, and thus a healthy dopamine release. And at some point you will be able to use 100% of your day with good habits and stop wasting time. And yes, this will be a long road ahead to accomplish that. But with time and patience you will be able to achieve that. So, to conclude everything, dopamine detox is a fasting of bad habits that release quick feelings of happiness and replace them with good habits that release a healthy amount of happiness, or other called dopamine. For that dopamine fasting, there are 2 ways to it. The first is a 24-hour fast of dopamine every week. So on that day, you are to 100% productive and do only good habits. And the second and more recommended way is to dopamine detox every day with small steps. So you slowly but surely convert all your bad habits into good ones, to make your quick, unhealthy dopamine habits into delayed, healthy dopamine habits. And next week you will get the next step. I am Mind Mentor, and I'm content to bring and help you through this journey. I will upload 1 video a week on Saturday, so you have enough time to get used to every step you will take. Until then, make your family, God, or yourself proud.